Yeah, it's such a good point and a tricky point at the same time. I always feel, because we can't really say that to someone that is in suffering, right? Look at the world, and you still have a body, and you still have a roof and food, and you're okay, right? Because it's not compassionate, and we don't experience the pain as someone else. Everybody experiences their own pain. But I think when it's self-revealed, when we can reconnect to that and have an experience of it, then we can remember that prayer of gratitude, right? This just the thank you prayer. In the Indian cosmology, what I've been studying for 15 years, the first prayer is thank you. And they say there's only one prayer. In fact, that's this one. Nothing else matters. And it's a prayer you make when you open your eyes in the morning, because you're alive, because you've been given one more day. And believe it or not, it's a gift. You don't know if you're going to open them tomorrow, right? We don't know. Well, we think we do, but we don't really. And so this return to that first prayer, yeah. But I don't know if by just praying I'm going to get it, right? But by, just sometime an experience outside of you is going to reflect that. And I had many instances like that when I arrived in India, in Kolkata. I also work in the slums with children, in the children's school. And the slums of Kolkata, I think, is one of the largest in the world, right? It's, imagine just a garbage, basically, hill. Huge. And I think there's, over 10 million people living there, twice the population of New York City, just in the slum part. But when I was there, what surprised me the most was the joy of the children. You had children that were, living, it's very dark there, there's a lot of garbage, and, it's smelly, and there's nothing. We're talking about poverty to a scale that is, really people. The quest of the day is to find food, right? For just for the day, right? That's all what we do, but still, you see smiles and light in eyes and kids playing and laughing, and at the school, I mean, those kids were like the most happy kids I've ever seen. And you could say, well, they don't know, right? They don't know what they could get, or they don't know that they are poor, probably. Maybe some of them. And it's not like, I say, well, we should live that way, and it's good for them to be that way. But I think very often and I experienced that in Nepal too. When I was in Nepal in the mountain, I lived there for a while in small villages where people don't have much, right? They have a couple of chickens, maybe one cow if there are farmers, and they have very, very little. But there is this depth of gratitude that is just shining through them. And that reflects back at me, right? I was like, oh, I'm coming to New York and I'm unhappy. And it's like, so it kind of shuffles all your priority, right? Your to-do list, what you look at, what's your problem, what you have, what you don't have. You kind of shuffled it completely. One day I was, I think it was just arrived. It was like 4 or 5 days. And I had a day off from helping at Mother Teresa, and I was just sitting in the street, on the side of the street, just with my camera, just looking, and at the animals and just taking photos. And there was this man that was sitting next to me who was a beggar. He had this little short. It was during the monsoon season. It was very hot. I think it was in July, and he has this shirt with a few holes in it. And then he had 2 wood sticks, I remember, and a kind of a little tarp above his head to protect him from the sun. And he was just looking, and he had this big smile with almost no teeth left. Just like he had this, like he was like a little Buddha, just like such a powerful presence. And I just looked at him, and I got really, I got mesmerized by it. And he looked at me. And he spoke to me in English. Usually old people speak English in India. And he said, why are you not happy? He told that to me. And I got, it's like an arrow was like literally through into my heart. And I was like, and I had my camera, like I was well dressed, so I was like, that's what he sees, right? That's what he tells me. And I was like, no, I'm happy. And he's like, no, you're not smiling. I'm smiling. And so I kind of paused at that moment, and I knew he was right. there was no, he saw that I was not happy despite I was smiling, right? And I told him, I said, why are you happy? And he looked at me and he opened his eyes. He said, sun in the sky, food in my belly, clothes, happy. This man that had nothing. Like, you know, I don't even know if he was eating every day or... But he was. That's the trick. He was not playing a game with me. He was not pretending anything. He was so direct. And I just broke in tears. Like my own grief, my own, you know, insanity. He was seeing things more clearly than I did, right? That was such a big lesson. You know, it was this moment of like... And it shuffled me a lot, because then I was like, but what am I looking for? Then what do I need? Because I got even more lost. I have all of this, but I don't feel like him. I have more, right? But I don't feel like that. And how do I find this? How do I really experience it like he is, like not playing a game, right? I'm happy, I'm good. Like every cell of his body. And I guess that's the quest, right? How do we really experience it to that depth?